You can love money, you can love working, but you need to realize that you are either making, growing money, or you are making, growing your life. Keep watching to find out what book I'm talking about today. Hey y'all, it's Denanyoh, and today we are talking about your money or your life. This book is written by Vicki Robbins and Joe Dominguez. So the genre of the book is nonfiction. The theme of the book is money management, financial independence. So I have a book review that I did a couple years ago where I talk about how I think FIRE, financial independent, retire early, is complete crap. All those people do is retire and then they try to sell you on their online digital course where you can pay them a certain amount every month to learn how to be like them. This book cuts through that, right? It talks about how being financially independent does not mean that you're not working. It means that you are not dependent on one specific financial source. It also talks about how you probably will not acquire wealth if you think that rich people and people who are financially independent are terrible. It also talks about how you have way too much stuff in your life. So I actually find out that this is a revisited version, right? Because Joe Dominguez is no longer alive. And so Vicki took the book and was like, let me revise it. Let me talk about it. Let me write about these principles and update it right now, right? Because life is a lot different than when this book was first published back in the 90s, okay? First of all, read the book all the way through. Don't start making action. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm reading and it's like, write down all the money you've ever earned. Well, I mean, this year? Nope, go back, get all your income statements from anything and tally it all up. And I'm like, will it be $1 million? Will it be more than that? Will it, heart palpitations. I'm like, wait, I don't have to do it right now. Make an inventory of everything in your house. Your couch, go in the basement. What's this light cost? What's this camera cost? What's this plant stand cost? Because someone has paid for that. Look at all the money that you've earned and look at all the money that you spent on things. Death by 1,000 cuts. You are reading the book and you are just spent money on that and I was upset. Don't have money to do this because I spent it on that and I'm upset. Got this personalized shirt. Don't have money to do something else. And I'm just like, wow, your money or your life. And the premise of the book is not that money is terrible. The premise of the book is that money is useful. Money is a tool. Money is everything. There's not one day that passes where you don't use something that was purchased with money, or you're not going to spend money to do something, or you're eating food that was purchased with money. Money is existent, especially here in America in our lives. It is incorporated in everything. They say you can spend your life making a living, but it's really you're making a dying because you're going to die. People don't like to talk about it that much. Everybody is getting older. Who knows how long I have, but I've at least had 41 years. I've spent money, I've earned money, I've acquired things, I've given things away. But are you making a living or are you making a dying? Because all you're doing is spending your time at this job. You have a couple of memories, but you're like work, focus. Oh, I get to breathe for 5 days on vacation, but I can only enjoy the 5 days because I've been working and grinding this whole time to get there. And it's just like, and the thing I love, this book is not judgmental at all. You can love money, you can love working, but you need to realize that you are either making, growing money, or you are making, growing your life. That is the premise. That's why it's this or that, right? All that said, what's the point of the book? The point of the book is you need enough to live. And I think enough is such a beautiful word. Everything else is excess. But what do you mean? Do you need clothes to clothe your body and keep you warm? Yes. Do you need 85 shirts? Probably not. We don't think of it as I have 85 shirts. You know why we don't think of it like that? Because it's depressing. Because who wants to take catalog of their life and of all the things that they own? Which is why the book tells you to do it. If you thought about it as excess, you would probably not be able to get out of bed because it would be depressing. Well, that's not fair. 70 years ago, people got to have all the shirts they wanted and consume all the things they wanted. Because are you doing it because you need it, or are you doing it because that's how you were raised, or are you doing it because that's how you were trained? If you cannot tell, this is not a casual read. This is on the level of Marie Kondo, where it's like, you don't pick that sucker up if you are not ready to make some changes, because the writing is so good at infiltrating all of your little thoughts, where at first you're like, okay, I finished reading it, now what? Oh, that's right, I'm supposed to read it again. And then you do pull together all of your things. Are you gonna do the effort? Are you gonna do the work to pull it together? And then you see how much money you've earned in your life. That is a lot of money. That is your life's wages right there. Wow. And then you make a catalog, right? You probably don't have the receipts, but you just look, what do I think that bookshelf was worth? What do I think those chairs were worth? What do I think? This is how much you've spent. Wow. What an impact, what a blessing. Look at what you can affect. And then you can also look at your net worth. What are you worth now, technically on paper? Do you believe in credit cards? Do you have credit? Have you been spending in excess? It made me be like, okay, Kyla, forgive yourself for where you are now and let's move forward, okay? Is it a blessing to have pictures on the wall and to look at your things and to be like, oh, I remember that emotion, I remember this, I remember that? Yes. Are you going to stop buying books because you can get them from the library, of which this one is from the library? Yes. Because if nothing else, I don't need to purchase another book. You do determine, are you just existing to earn money so that you can keep spending money in the way that you were always taught? Or are you comfortable with having enough? Whatever enough means to you. To you, not because your parents said, oh, whenever you were upset they used to go to the mall and buy something, not because your parents said, oh, we just got paid, let's go order some food because it's what we always did. And I don't mean to scare you, but the book is very sobering, but it's also an enjoyable read. But it tells the truth, right? Because being financially independent is being the exception in America in 2025. Most people exist to work. You go to work, you earn a sufficient amount of money so that you can pay all your bills. If you don't, you supplement it by doing DoorDash or doing another job on the side. If you don't do that, you supplement it by having whatever and a side hustle and a this and that. Because we're consumers and we've been raised to be consumers and we've grown up as consumers and we enjoy being consumers. But most of it is excess and we don't even recognize it. We don't recognize it to the point that having enough makes you become a minimalistic person. Great book, great book. I am in the middle of the second read. So I finished it all the way and now I'm rereading it and actually doing all the steps. And I'm learning a lot. Okay, so pick it up. Very good look at money, and it's a good look at the way we are raised in the America to deal with money and to spend money. Whether or not it's good or bad is up to you to determine, but whatever you read this book, absolutely. I'm currently in the second reread, so I read it all the way and now I'm rereading it to do all the activities. So you'll need to reread it and be like, I kind of missed that, or okay, how do things feel now? Oh wow, look how much money I've spent. It's easier to not look at it, but I don't like being passive aggressive. Passive aggression makes me aggressive aggressive. So it's like, let's get down to the nitty gritty of the money, figure out what's really going on so that we can make some changes and make sure we live with enough and not excess. All right. So if you enjoyed this book review, you'll probably enjoy the next one. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.